The U.S. intelligence community assesses that China almost certainly is capable of launching cyber attacks that could disrupt critical infrastructure services within the United States.
The Chinese space program has often found itself at the center of allegations and accusations, primarily originating from the United States. More recently, the international community was stirred by the disclosure of a classified document which brought to light China's formidable space capabilities, notably featuring a device that can be referred to as a satellite hijacker, an asset reportedly within China's grasp. Today's episode will cover a leaked CIA document's contents and a potential arms race in space. In an age where technological advancements and geopolitical strategies intertwine, space assets, especially satellites, have become integral elements of national security and global influence. A recently leaked CIA report has provided insights into China's alleged pursuit of cyber weapons designed to secure control over enemy satellites. This revelation not only underscores China's evolving approach to space capabilities, but also invites a critical examination of the international implications of its actions. The leaked CIA report suggests that China is actively engaged in the development of cyber weapons aimed at securing control over enemy satellites during wartime. These cyber weapons, as outlined in the report, possess the potential to incapacitate enemy satellites, thus disrupting vital data signals and surveillance functions. This development reflects a transformation in the strategies of space warfare, particularly from China's perspective. The source of this leak, as reported by the Financial Times, FT, is a 21-year-old U.S. Air Guardsman, Jack Teixeira, who allegedly disseminated classified documents through an online gaming chat room. The leaked document offers a glimpse into China's ambitious pursuit of capabilities that would enable them to deny, exploit, or hijack enemy satellites. These capabilities could significantly impact the satellite-dependent infrastructure of nations, particularly during times of conflict. The report has raised concerns about China's intentions and its potential role in shaping the future of space militarization. China's pursuit of cyber weapons for satellite control comes at a time when trade relations between the United States and China are already strained, adding another layer of complexity to the two nations' interactions. It demonstrates China's view of space as a domain with strategic significance, framing it as a war-fighting domain. The leaked report highlights the challenges that the international community faces in safeguarding the peaceful use of space. The development of cyber weapons for satellite control introduces a new dimension to the ongoing process of space militarization, offering a distinct perspective on space security and stability. The real-world consequences of these cyber weapons are becoming increasingly evident. During the early weeks of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, SpaceX's Starlink satellite broadband service encountered signal jamming. Although the source of this interference remains unconfirmed, it underscores the vulnerabilities of satellite communications during times of conflict. The leaked report anticipates even more sophisticated cyberattacks, capable of imitating signals, leading to complete takeovers or causing malfunctions. The impact of these cyberattacks extends beyond commercial enterprises such as SpaceX. Satellite operators, including Viasat, have reported cyberattacks on their satellite internet networks. These attacks had significant consequences, impacting not only Ukraine but also other European countries like Germany, Italy, and Poland. These incidents emphasize the potential disruption that cyber weapons could cause in satellite-dependent systems, affecting crucial services and even national security. General B. Chance Saltzman, the chief of the U.S. Space Force, has publicly acknowledged the growing threats in space. He has highlighted the exponential growth in tracked objects and satellite payloads and has pointed to China's aggressive pursuit of space dominance. China's deployment of numerous satellites is intended for monitoring, tracking, targeting, and potentially safeguarding its interests in space. Before going further, let's look at facts and not details or leaked documents. Throughout its history of space exploration, China has consistently maintained a commitment to using space for peaceful purposes and abiding by international space rules and agreements. China's space activities have largely reflected its dedication to scientific exploration, technological advancements, and global cooperation rather than militarization. China has consistently collaborated with other nations on various space-related projects. It has contributed to global scientific research and satellite programs, including partnerships with the European Space Agency and the United Nations Office for Outer Space Affairs. China's participation in the International Space Station, ISS, demonstrates its commitment to peaceful space endeavors, fostering international dialogue and cooperation. China has also been a signatory to key international agreements related to space, such as the Outer Space Treaty, which promotes the peaceful use of outer space. China's space activities have generally adhered to these agreements, including the principles of non-weaponization of space and the prohibition of nuclear weapons in orbit. Moreover, China's advancements in space technology have not only benefited its own scientific endeavors, but have also been offered commercially for the international community. The idea of an arms race in space evokes images of a Cold War-era contest between superpowers, with satellites and space-based weapons replacing nuclear arsenals as the focus of the rivalry. While the Cold War space race between the United States and the Soviet Union laid the foundation for humanity's exploration of outer space, the modern era is witnessing a new and more complex space race. This emerging arms race in space involves multiple nations and commercial entities, reflecting a changing geopolitical landscape and the increasing importance of space in military and civilian affairs. Unlike the bipolar competition between the U.S. and the USSR during the Cold War, today's space race features a multipolar landscape. Several nations are actively expanding their space capabilities and asserting their presence in orbit. China, as discussed, has been notably assertive, but it's not alone. Russia, the European Union, India, and others are also striving to enhance their space capabilities. These nations are developing satellites, launching missions to the Moon and Mars, and deploying advanced space technologies, including anti-satellite weapons and cyber capabilities. Advancements in space technology are driving the arms race. Notably, anti-satellite, ASAT, capabilities and cyber warfare tools have become focal points. ASAT weapons can disable or destroy satellites in orbit, disrupting communication, navigation, and reconnaissance systems. Cyber attacks on satellites and ground-based space infrastructure pose similar threats. As nations develop these capabilities, they contribute to the growing instability in the space environment. Space is increasingly recognized as a military domain, on par with land, sea, and air. The U.S. Space Force demonstrates this recognition. China, too, has established its own Space Force. Militaries are investing in space-based capabilities to enhance their strategic advantage, further intensifying the competition. The use of cyber weapons, anti-satellite technology, and space-based surveillance systems adds complexity to military operations and strategies. The emergence of an arms race in space has several implications for international security. Firstly, it heightens the potential for misunderstandings, miscalculations, and accidental conflicts in space. The crowded space environment increases the risk of satellite collisions, creating space debris that could threaten operational satellites. Secondly, it complicates efforts to maintain space as a peaceful domain. The Outer Space Treaty of 1967, which aims to prevent the placement of nuclear weapons in space and restricts military activities on celestial bodies, is facing new challenges in an era of weaponization and militarization. Thirdly, the arms race in space has economic and geopolitical ramifications. Space-based assets are critical to modern life, including GPS, communication networks, and weather forecasting. Disruptions to these services can have far-reaching consequences, affecting not only national security, but also global commerce. With much about the leaked CIA documents' contents and a potential arms race in space covered, it is time to wrap this one.